This match is a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match at a total weight of 442 pounds. From parts unknown, the Masked Marauders. Going against them at a total of 450 pounds. From Montreal, Canada, Jacques Rougeau. And from Vero Beach, Florida, Terry Taylor. This match one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Woogie going to try to get her down to just one man from each side. And there, I would not want to be the Masked Marauders going against Rougeau and Taylor, as hot as they are at this point about the Sheepherders.
They are indeed a bit upset. Terry Taylor starting against the shorter of the Masked Marauders. Terry over to the corner, makes the tag on Jacques Rougeau. Terry fires him into the rope, sets him up. And Jacques Rougeau let him have it right in the midsection. Rougeau with a body slam on the Marauder. Over to the corner, the tag by Rougeau. Terry Taylor with the upper arm gets the Marauder off his feet. Terry got a twist on that arm. Foot on the side of the head. Marauder able to get a foot over the bottom rope. That's going to mean a break. Marauder complaining to the referee. Not sure why. Maybe he thought he was a little slow about calling for the break on the rope there. Terry grabs the arm again. The Marauder swings by the corner, makes the tag on his partner. Picked him straight up in the air and dropped him off his feet down to the mat. Jacques Rougeau in after the tag. Rougeau, very agile wrestler. Out of Montreal, Canada. He's got some moves. Rougeau working on that left arm. The Marauder on the mat. Jacques had the arm up behind the bag and it was just dropping down on it. Terry Taylor takes over where Rougeau left off with the arm. He's got it hammered up behind the back. Marauder trying to look for his corner, find his partner over there, but he was a long way from the corner. Taylor and Rougeau make a tag again. Rougeau with that double knee lift as he just leaps off the mat, brings the knees up under the chin of his opponent. Taylor with the drop kick as Rougeau had fired the Marauder into the ropes. Taylor was right there. Terry Taylor has got the cover. Whoops. Okay, I think the Marauder's foot was briefly over the bottom rope. The referee called a break. Taylor slams him down. Rougeau had made the tag. He drops down. Marauder tried to roll out of the way, but Rougeau still able to plant a foot on him. Backbreaker by Rougeau. Tag on Terry Taylor. 3.5-minute mark coming up in this match. It's been all Rougeau and Taylor. Backflips off the rope. Taylor tags Rougeau. Backs the Marauder to the rope. Fires him across the way. Rougeau off the middle rope with a flying drop kick. Down to 1, 2, and 3. Taylor and Rougeau exhibiting some of the fine teamwork that we have seen in the past from this team. Boy, they set the Marauder up, and Jacques Rougeau up on the middle rope. He had to regain his balance as the Marauder was stumbling around, but he found the range with that drop kick standing off the rope. 3 minutes, 52 seconds, and the win for Terry Taylor, Jacques Rougeau.
Boy, he'll wind your clock with that drop kick, won't he, when he comes off?
He kicked him 3/4 of the way across the ring when he made contact with him here.
Man, oh, man. Well, you know, as we said before the bout got underway, Rougeau and Taylor are tough anytime. Fine couple of young wrestlers, but, man, they're hot today about the Sheepherders, and
Marauders had to pay for it.
That's exactly right. We got action coming up. We're going to be back to it in just a moment. Big Tuesday night card in its entirety in just a moment. Hey, I want to tell you a little bit ahead. Remind you that on Thursday, December the 9th, Columbia, Kentucky Championship Wrestling Company comes to Adair County High School, sponsored by the fire department. More on that later. Now, Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens. Listen to this one. Spike Huber and the New York Dolls, number 2, will be going. Steve Regal and number 1 will be going in a single match. And then it'll be a 6-man tag match with Jimmy Hart, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and Sweet Brown Sugar going against the superstar Bill Dundee, Dutch Mantell, and Bobby Fulton. And then a Southern Tag Team title match we mentioned a moment ago. Jesse Barr and Crusher Broomfield with Jimmy Cornette at ringside will be going against the current champions, the Fabulous Ones. The final main event. Oh, what a knockdown drag-out this is going to be. There may be boards and everything else going in this one when Jacques Rougeau and Terry Taylor tangle with the rugged Sheepherders out of New Zealand. All of that Tuesday night.
In the ring right now, the New York Dolls and their manager, Jimmy Hart. As the music starts, here come the Fabulous Ones. Dan Lane, Steve Kern.
Magnificently attired and ready to meet the WWA World Tag Champions, the New York Dolls, Quick Draw Rick McGraw, the Dream Machine, and the Southern Tag Champions, Steve Kern and Stan Lane. Jimmy Hart running around laughing, hollering. He's feeling good now, but as we said, we better wait and find out when they get in the bout here where the laughing comes. You know that statement about he who laughs last and all that sort of thing. A couple of fine bodies being unveiled right here as Stan Lane and Steve Kern peel it down. And we are approaching, well, look at Hart in the ring. Laying down on his back, kicking his feet as Steve and Stan peel out of their attire. We're very close to the confrontation. You do a good job of it, Steve. Steve makes a little joke. I enjoy taking my fans off on TV. Off come the final piece of finery, the top hats, and we're about ready for the introductions for this main event match.
It goes to the expiration of time at a total weight of 481 pounds. The New York Dolls, the Dream Machine, and Rick McGraw, their manager, Jimmy Hart. And going against them at a total of 443 pounds from Tampa, Florida, and Delray Beach, Florida, the Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane. This match to the expiration of time. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Got all the spirit in the world firing because Stan and Steve are ready, and Hart has got the Dolls pumped up. The Dream and Rick McGraw standing there ready for it, and the World Tag belts come off the waist of the Dolls. It's Hart now helping Rick McGraw get out of it and ready to go. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to keep things under control until it is officially time for him to get at it. Okay. We're about at that point. Stan Lane will be starting on the side of the Fabulous Ones, and The Dream Machine will be the one on this side. Bell time, and here we go, Davey.
Oh, looking forward to this one. Fabulous Ones against the New York Dolls. Van Lane Dream Machine. Back on the rope. Van backs away on instruction from the referee. And the Dream Machine comes off the rope, yelling and screaming he had his hair pulled. Lane fired into the rope. Ducks under the Dream Machine.
Calhoun have to referee all of my matches. Man, can't y'all go to a rent a referee or something, man? It's ridiculous. Come on, baby. Come on, dog.
Dream Machine. Reversed by Stan Lane. Stan sits down on that arm.
Watch the fingers, Calhoun. Watch the fingers.
Dream Machine now back up on his feet. Back Stan Lane to the rope. Fires him across the way. Stan steps over. Nice takedown as he puts the Dream Machine of the New York Dolls down on the mat. Rick McGraw steps in there. He goes back. Tag made. Steve Kern steps in after the tag.
I can't believe everybody thinks he's doing it, but Calhoun, those guys don't even look alike, man.
Dolls make a tag. Here's Rick McGraw coming in. Kern fired into the rope. Shoulder butt coming off of there. McGraw hits the mat. Nice move by Steve. He takes him down with a leg. Kern.
Come on, boys. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on.
Kern kick back to the rope. He grabs the leg of the New York Doll, Rick McGraw. Lays it down on the mat, and Stan Lane drops on it. Stanley with a spring on that leg. Fires him up. Down to the mat again goes Rick McGraw. What a move he put on him. McGraw was going to throw him off the rope. Stanley hung on, and it's Rick McGraw of the New York Dolls who ends up on the mat. Back in the Fabulous Ones corner. Steve Kern. Round behind McGraw. Stanley lets him have it while he's there. Dream Machine jumps in for the Dolls. Both of them in there, but now Dream Machine heads back for the corner. In the ring, it's Steve Kern of the Fabulous Ones, Rick McGraw of the New York Dolls. McGraw makes the tag. Now they're all in there again. Over to Dolls' corner. Stan Lane being sent back to the corner, and the Dolls double teaming, and Hart with the cane nails Kern. Hart hit Kern with a cane, hit him right in the top of the forehead. And they got him cut, too. When Hart hit Kern with that cane, it split him open. Dream Machine standing over Steve Kern in the corner. 3 minutes, 45 seconds gone. Expiration of time match. Kern having that head slammed into the top turnbuckle. Stan Lane comes in, grabs the Dream Machine from behind. Rick McGraw comes in to do some work on Steve Kern. Now Dream Machine back over. Kern fighting back. Reese fired him into the rope, clothesline and coming off of there, makes the tag on Rick McGraw. New York Dolls with the upper hand for the moment. It was all Fabulous Ones for about the first 2.5 minutes. But then the New York Dolls with a double team and the cane of Jimmy Hart and the forehead of Steve Kern have pretty well taken control for the last minute or so. Hart holding up the chair, and Steve Kern sent Rick McGraw into that chair. And it's McGraw and Hart that get the worst of that deal.
Boy, he really whipped him in. He knocked Hart all the way back on the floor. Hart holding that chair up, and Steve reversed it and slammed his head into that chair. Hart goes flying back about 4 feet on the floor.
Kern in control. Well, he was for the moment. McGraw hit him right under the rib cage. Missed. Both of them hit the mat as they run together. Both wrestlers on the mat. Stan Lane yelling to Steve, get up. Dream Machine and Jimmy Hart doing the same to McGraw. McGraw gets the tag. Dream Machine comes in, turns, unloads on him. Here's Stan Lane coming in. Knocks McGraw back out over the corners. Steve Kern's still in there, too.
McGraw bleeding pretty good himself, where Kern slammed him into that chair down on the floor. The Dream and Stan Lane.
Whoa! Whoa! Lane. Pick up behind the head. Picks up the Dream Machine. Jimmy Hart trying to call him out of here. He was waving to the Dream Machine. Come on. He's well back in the corner. Lane and the Dream Machine rolling around here on the floor. Referee stops the match. A stop match. He counted them both out. Both teams out of the ring fighting on the floor, and the referee has stopped the match. It is not a disqualification now. I guess technically it could be a disqualification on both teams, but officially it goes in the book, stop match. No decision. Oh, wow. As Kern with hard chair unloads first on the Dream Machine and then McGraw. Woo! Hart and Dream Machine have left. Eddie Marlin, promoter Eddie Marlin, gets in between Kern and Lane and McGraw to get McGraw out of here.
Oh, man. I tell you, I wouldn't want to get in between Steve Kern when he's mad, and he was hot. He was slamming folks with that chair. Stan Lane rattled the Dream, put a drag on him across the floor, beat him out there, picked him up, slammed him down again. Meanwhile, Kern is over there banging away on it. And that's the first fall.
That's only the first fall. That's right. 6:26.
What a beauty. We're going to take time out and get back to that action in just one moment, my friend.
There's the referee in the ring, and Rick McGraw and Dream Machine. The New York Dolls back out here. McGraw bleeding from a cut on his head. Here comes Stan Lane and Steve Kern. Kern bleeding, too.
We're off and running already, Dave.
Second fall action. Expiration of time match. Time is a factor. Beginning to run a bit short here. Whoa! Dream Machine fired into the turnbuckles by Stan Lane. Lane backed into the turnbuckles now in the other corner by the Dream Machine. Fabulous ones and the New York Dolls. First fall ended in not disqualification. It was stopped. Stopped by the referee. No winner. All right, it's Kern and McGraw. Dream Machine, Stan Lane battling each other. McGraw's head into the turnbuckle. Referee trying to get only one for either team in there. New York Dolls, both of them jumping Stan Lane. Steve Kern moves Rick McGraw back. Kern is back out on the apron. Dream Machine back out on the apron. It's Stan Lane against the Dream Machine. Did I say Dream Machine on the apron? That's Rick McGraw out on the apron. Dream Machine, Stan Lane in the ring. Dream over to the corner by Stan Lane, who makes the tag on Steve Kern while he's there. Kern let him have it with a right hand. suplex by Steve Kern. McGraw jumps in there after Steve Kern. Lane in there, all four of them. Right there in the middle of the ring. Kern, Green Machine, slugging each other while Stan Lane works on Rick McGraw. Stan Lane back out at his corner. Whoops, no, he isn't. Well, he was, but not for long. Kern. Green Machine over in the Fabulous One's corner. Kern reaching for the tag. And he made it on Stan Lane. Stan Lane. Round behind the Dream Machine. Steve Kern in. To help out a little bit. Rick McGraw jumps in there as Kern heads after Jimmy Hart down on the floor. Kern comes back in. Knee to McGraw. Boy, there have been four of them in there, more than two. Most of this second fall. As our time is winding down on the floor, they got Steve Kern, Rick McGraw, also Dream Machine Stan Lane. All of them down here on the floor, and referee in the middle of trying to break it up. Look out, Hart coming in with a cane. Across the back, Steve Kern. And again, disqualification on Hart that time. That means the Fabulous Ones are going to have a win in that one. So the second fall goes to the team of Steve Kern, Stan Lane, the Fabulous Ones, by disqualification on Jimmy Hart and the cane.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know whether they feel much like winners or not in there. It was a rugged battle from both sides. That's one of those things where everybody's going to come out of it, and they are just banged around. The referee just absolute flat stopped it again, and the disqualification, everything, he hadn't stopped it up to the point Hart ran in with that cane and jabbed in there. Okay, we're going to check our time. We'll be back in just a moment. Oh, yeah, man, you haven't seen any of it yet. Just stay tuned and watch the action coming up. It is murder. Listen, I want to tell you about the action also coming up on Tuesday night at the Gardens down there. The fabulous Jackie Fargo couldn't be here with us to talk about that Southern tag match, but Bill Dundee said he had plenty to say about that, going against Jimmy Cornette's first challenging team.
That's right. Jackie Fargo did what he said he was going to do to Jimmy Hart. He done got him out of his hair, and he's got the dolls and everybody else that has got. Let me tell you something, Cornette. You ought to go back and get your little camera, bring it down ringside, sit there, take pictures, brother, because that's about as far as you're going to go in the wrestling business. And them two big goose that you think is going to beat the Fabulous Ones. No way, Daddy. Now, all you nice people out there, listen to this. Little Bobby Fulton's a good personal friend of mine. I'm going to guarantee you that Bobby Fulton beats somebody in that six-man tag, because that's all it needs, brother. The guy needs a little confidence, and I'm sure we're going to build it for him. With the help of Bill Dundee, we will make a champion of that boy.
Maybe it'll be Hart you guys will get. Hey, listen, I want to talk to Terry Taylor and Jacques Rougeau about the action coming up Tuesday night against the Sheepherders. Now, you wanted a match, you got it, boy, and here the cotton gets tall, Terry.
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, we wanted this match, and we got it. I think we deserved it. They talk about beating us in that match. Well, they didn't beat us. They hit me with a lead pipe blindside shot, a sucker punch, and then it took two of them to beat me after that. I'll tell you, they took advantage of the rules and didn't let Jacques in. Well, that's okay. You know, what's good for the gander is good for the geese, and that's what we did. We turned the tables on them and fought the way that they fight. So I tell you, when it comes to Louisville Gardens, Jacques Rougeau and Terry Taylor are coming to take care of two guys to say they're ambassadors of their country. I'll tell you, if I was a New Zealander, I'd be embarrassed to have these guys representing me.
I golly, Terry Taylor is not the only one that has some feelings about it.
Well, you know what happens, Lance. I don't know if you know, but I came from the south, a little south from here. And I've met these gentlemen before. And you know what happens? They like to break arms. I was there and I've seen it. You know Ron Fuller?
Yeah.
You know Bob Armstrong?
Yep.
Their arms got broken. But I'm telling you one thing. If you could get to my arm before my feet get to you, welcome. Sheepherders, come for my arm. I'm ready and I'm waiting for you.
Tuesday. Okay, We have had not only an end, but a sudden halt, David, to the action in there. The referee stopped it. Jimmy Hart came complaining during the break in there that they are not coming back out here with a mistreatment because the referee had disqualified him for the action, and he was just trying to restore order according to Hart. They're not coming back out. So you want to know the truth? That kind of messes up our expiration of time match, and we don't have any participants for that final fall. That is good in one respect, because a little earlier the superstar Bill Dundee was talking to me, as a matter of fact, about a week ago, and said, hey, when you got some time, I got something I want to say about one of the guys, and we talked about it. And so, Billy, come on in here, and Bobby Fulton. Bobby, glad to have you in here. Bill, what you had said that you wanted to make some comments about Bobby Fulton, and I was particularly impressed because this is a tough business, and there's a lot of competition. And when a guy takes the time, as Bill explained it to me, to say what he's going to say, I think that's great, too. So, Bill, fire away.
Well, we thank you for the kind words, Lance. It's just like, I guess, any kind of professional sport, whether you be a boxer or a wrestler or a football player. If somebody doesn't tell you your mistakes, you never really learn them. You never know what you're doing. But the thing that you lack most is confidence in you. You know, sometimes when I started, I used to walk the ring, and I'd look up there and be a guy 9 feet tall, and I think, Bill Dundee, you'll never beat him. Don't even climb in the ring, Bill Dundee. But see, and that was me putting me down, and I would climb in there and get whipped, you know, and then I'd just go back to the dressing room. And somebody said, Bill, you have got to go to that ring saying you can win, you can do it, brother, you can do it. So I started thinking that way, and it worked for me. So I watched Bobby, and I worked out with him. Him and I was pretty good friends. We drive up and down the road together. And I talked to him and asked him what he thought about a match, and it was the same thing. I would say, well, sometimes, Bill, I look in there and see that big bald-headed angel, and I think, I'll never whip him. He's been around for 20 years. I said, Bobby, that's the same thing I had. You've got to go to the ring with a positive attitude. You've got to go to the ring thinking, I can beat him. I can beat anybody that's in that ring. I can beat Jerry Lawler. I can beat Bill Dundee if I had to. And that's the kind of thing. So I've been trying to tell him that, and I think the guy, you know, he said, well, Bill, I'll give it a best shot. If you think I can win, I'll be a winner.
All right, Golly. Bobby, I just want to welcome you again. Thank you. We don't get a chance to talk to you much out here. You are picking up aggression in there, and we just wish you all the luck with it.
Well, you know, just like Bill said, I think it was a lack of confidence that was holding me back, but now Bill has restored me, you know, and gave me that confidence, and I'm just going out there to that ring and try to win all the time. Yeah,
you're trying all the time, and partner, with a kind of help from that, good luck to you in there. Bobby Fulton. Billy, thank you. I appreciate it because, as I said, it's a tough business, and this may be the next guy challenging Bill Dundee for a title. Okay. Bill Dundee. Davey, how about a recap on today's action?
All right, all kind of action on Championship Wrestling today. Jesse Barr out here with his manager, Jimmy Cornette. He defeated Joe Stark in about 2.5 minutes. It was the Sheepherders, Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams, defeating Ken Raper and Aaron Holt. And that one, Sheepherders showing their meanness and their ability to win a wrestling match in just about any way they think they need to, as they defeated Raper and Aaron Holt in 3 minutes, 47 seconds. Then, it was Terry Taylor, Jacques Rougeau, tough tag team. Anytime you put these two guys in the ring as a tag team, they had a little additional incentive today, I suppose. They were most upset about a previous match with the Sheepherders team. Now, today they were going against the Masked Marauders, and as we said, they're a fine team anyway, but being additionally upset today, Masked Marauders never had a chance when they got in that ring.
I got to interject this, too. They were upset because Eddie Marlin would not change the card here today for Championship Wrestling and put the Sheepherders back
in here against them.
Put it in.
That's
so they were hot when they walked in that ring.
Boy, they were, and they wasted no time in working over the Masked Marauders. The time of the match was about 3 minutes, 52 seconds, but that 3:52 was all Terry Taylor and Jacques Rougeau as they got the win.
Impressive.
Oh, they are indeed. They've got good weight, and also they have good size as far as height goes. Rougeau has some of the finest in the air moves you will ever see. He's got drop kicks off the ropes and everything. Taylor,
fine athletes, both of them.
Also a good wrestler. Then, in that match with the Fabulous Ones on one side of the ring and the New York Dolls on the other, great action in here, but not much in the way of pure scientific wrestling going on with either team. Really.
That's okay. Every now and then.
It was a battle, and as we said during the match at one point, there were 4 of them in the ring, more than there were 2 of them in the ring, the way it's supposed to be.
And out of the ring, don't forget that.
And down here on the floor, too. Now, the first fall was a long one. It went about 6.5 minutes. The referee ended up stopping that first fall just because they were all out on the floor and they refused to get back in the ring. So the first fall was stopped with no winner. Then the second fall they came back, and the Fabulous Ones did get the win in that one as the New York Dolls were disqualified. Again, they were down on the floor, but this time Jimmy Hart got in there with the cane, and the referee said disqualified.
And he refused to bring the New York Dolls back for the third fall, which was supposed to come up. So we have had another exciting day, and we'll be back again next week with Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station.
And we're ready to go with another big week championship wrestling, and we got ourselves an unusual one today, David.
Oh, we do indeed. Got some good action coming up here. We're going to have the Sheepherders in here. They'll be in a tag team match. Also, we'll have Sugar and Eaton with Jimmy Hart in their corner, involved in a tag team match. We'll also have the Superstar, Bill Dundee, and the Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern and Stan Lane. And that's not all. Got some interesting highlights, too.
By golly, we sure do. We try every now and then to go around the country and pick up some of the action footage. This particular week, we have dynamite action from about 3 or 4 matches. And if we're going to get all that done, better get it on. We'll take time out right now. We'll be back to action in just one moment. I think most of the wrestling fans know Jerry the King has not had the most success in the world with Nick Bockwinkel, and he had dropped his Southern title to Bockwinkel, who also holds the AWA World Heavyweight title, and was unable to get it back. He finally ended up in a situation in a hair match, as a matter of fact, with Bockwinkel, with the title at stake. I want you to see some of the highlights of it, and boy, don't think Jerry won't savor this one for a long time. Take a look. Jerry is a mess. We've seen Lawler have some bad moments, but this is as bad, I think, as I've ever seen Lawler pounded around. Bockwinkel jumped over. Oh, he slammed Bockwinkel 246 right into the referee. Jerry Calhoun laying on the mat, his arm draped over the rope. Lawler really... Oh, here comes Jimmy Hart from behind. Hart nails Lawler right in the back of the head. Calhoun. And there's a bridge with a pin. Bockwinkel, count of 1, 2, and Lawler kicks out. Hart jumped in there while the referee was down. Lawler beat it, though. This is what they came to see. Lawler puts Bockwinkel down. An incredible recuperative power of Lawler's. With Bockwinkel on the deck, Lawler going to spear him. He nailed him with that right hand. This could be it for Lawler. Nope. Oh, we may be a long way from being through. You better believe it. Look at that. Lawler jerked him up out of a crouch, right off his feet, and slammed his head down. And again sails in with that right. Bockwinkel just barely shook it that time. Calhoun, the referee, is still. He is beat up from where Lawler ran Bockwinkel. Let me tell you, this Bockwinkel is thick. Lawler again a third time. He got him this time. The winner, regaining the Southern heavyweight title, Jerry Lawler. Well, let me tell you one thing. That was a thrilling moment, to say the very least, when Lawler got himself a win over Bockwinkel right in the middle of the ring. And I know that there's one man that couldn't be any happier than the King was when he got it. Congratulations, Jerry. Whale of a win with Bockwinkel in there. And all of the things I said about never seeing you beat around quite as much were true. But, boy, you made it stick. You brought it back and reached down in that old sack and pulled up that guts when you had to have it.
Well, all I can say, you asked me after the match, and I said I've never been hurting so much and so sore all over to feel so good, because it did feel good, to realize that, well, not only to save my hair, but to have the belt back. But the main thing that felt good was I had always felt all along, especially the match before, that I could beat Nick Bockwinkel, and now I know I can beat him. The fans know I can beat him, but most importantly, Nick Bockwinkel knows I can beat him. And he is the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he was the champion Monday night, and I beat him right in the middle of the ring. And if that doesn't make me the #1 contender for his belt, then I don't know what does. And I'm going to get with Eddie Marlin, and I'm going to get with the promotion. And I know it took a lot of money to get Nick Bockwinkel to come in here before to put up the Southern belt, and I can imagine how much money it would take to get him back here to put up the World Championship belt, knowing that I can beat him like I did. But we're gonna look for some people, and we're gonna look for some money, and I'm gonna try my best to get Nick Bockwinkel back here, because I got this belt from him, and now I don't want to stop until I get that big belt.
Oh boy, you bet that. And I think you put your finger on it. The match prior to that, after it was over with, you and I were talking, and you said I had the guy beat when Art jumped in and got the disqualification. You felt like in that match you'd have beat him if it hadn't have been stopped, right?
Well, I think Hart saved him in that match, and I think Hart tried to save him again, but with the no disqualification stipulation, it worked in my favor. And like I say, I was just tickled to death to come out, still hair on my head, and with the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt back around my waist and back in this area where I feel like it belongs. And if we can get Nick Bockwinkel in here one more time, I'll relieve him of a little more extra weight if he don't, if he don't mess with me.
Jerry, congratulations again. We're tickled to death for you. And by golly, I'll tell you one thing. We're going to be looking forward to a world title match. You deserve one. You showed Bockwinkel what you could do. Right now, we're going to take time out. We'll be back in the ring with action coming up in just a few minutes. Back to Wave Country's championship wrestling action. Just one moment. By golly, coming up Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens, bigger and better than even before. You better believe it. Take a listen to some of the bouts on the card. There'll be a Mid-America heavyweight title match. Mantell against Jesse Barr with Jimmy Cornette in the corner. A Southern tag team title with the New York Dolls facing the Fabulous Ones. That's the Southern against the world title.
All four of those men at once.
Just wait a minute,
we can beat them, the champions and the...
An added match in there is going to be the team of the Sheepherders right here, Boyd and Williams, going against Bill Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler in a special bonus match in which promoter Eddie Marlin and everybody, when they see it, will understand, offered $500 a piece for them to take you out of action in that bout in there.
The reason why Eddie Marlin are giving these two what he calls the best in professional wrestling, $500 a piece there, that's because we had to go to drastic measures to get a match. To get a match with what you people call the best. So we slapped Eddie Marlin. Yes, we slapped him just to get a match with Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler, and now he's put a $500 bounty on our heads. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Eddie Marlin. All you have done to Lawler and Dundee... That's right, we are. Tell them! All you have done to them is send them to hospital, because they're going to need that $500 to pay for the bloody hospital bill. We'll gladly throw in another 100 or so, because we're going to need plastic surgery when we get through them. You stinking Yanks think we've come over here to twiddle our thumbs? We've come over here to twiddle your bloody throats, to twiddle your noses, to twiddle your ears. And when we get finished, we will kick your bloody heads in. So Dundee and Lawler, we're going to beat your brains in. Whether you get $500 extra or not, you're going to need them. And Dundee, you think you look like Elvis Presley? He's been dead quite a while. You are going to look like him.
A one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Introducing, at a total of 442 pounds, from Tupelo, Mississippi, Dennis Upton, and his partner from Florida, Buddy Landell. Going against him at a total of 471 pounds, from New Zealand, Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams, the Sheepherders. This match one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Okay, we've got young Buddy Landell and Dennis Upton going against them, and Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams making a big deal over their New Zealand flag that they bring with them every time. Now, after seeing them a few times, I understand some of the reasons why they bring that flag with them, or that flagpole. Okay, here we go. Bell time.
Jonathan Boyd starting against Dennis Upton. Boyd with a headbutt. Dennis Upton hits the mat. Boyd picks him up, calls for the knee in the corner of Luke Williams. The Sheepherders make a tag. Boyd holds him up. Luke Williams. Fist to the midsection on Dennis Upton. Tag made by Upton. It's Buddy Landell. Landell wrapping that arm, keeping Luke Williams away from the tag. Williams tried for the tag a couple of times. He has missed it both times. Oops, he gets Landell's feet out from under him. Landell kicks him back, though. Buddy. Puts pressure on that arm. This time, Luke Williams able to get close enough to the corner that he does get the tag on his partner. So the Sheepherders make the exchange. Jonathan Boyd back in. Boyd firing Landell into the rope. Knee lift by Boyd. Over to the corner, makes the tag on Williams. Off the ropes, Landell. Caught Luke Williams with a foot. Puts the bar on the left arm. Luke Williams on the mat. Buddy Landell right there. Williams again swings by the corner, makes a tag. And Jonathan Boyd back in. Two minutes gone in this match. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jonathan Boyd holding Buddy Landell. Luke Williams off the middle rope, drops down with a forearm right across the top of the foot. Williams wrapping up the arm. Landell reverses it on him. Buddy over to the corner, makes the tag on Dennis Upton. Upton rammed into the bottom of the boot of Jonathan Boyd across the way. Boyd with a headbutt again. Sheepherders pretty much in control when Dennis Upton's in the ring. He had a little trouble with Landell. Here he comes in. No tag's been made, but he came in to kind of even it up at 2 against 2 instead of 2 against 1. They've got Upton over in the corner. Bad place to be. Sheepherders both in the ring. Jonathan Boyd holding him up against the ropes while Luke Williams is working on him. Now Williams flips up and out to the center of the ring. Williams drops down, lower leg across the throat. Jonathan Boyd back in. We are at the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes gone. Pop on the ears. Upton fired into the rope. Boy, let him have it. He did that earlier in the match. He's got him again in the midsection. Here's Luke Williams back in. Williams trying to keep Upton away from the corner. The tag on Landell. Now Jonathan Boyd grabs him, so Upton back in the Sheepherders corner again. Boyd holding him there from outside. Landell in there again. He'd been watching it in the corner. Couldn't take it anymore. Watching him work 2 against 1 against Dennis Upton. Now the referee trying to get him back to the center of the ring, away from the rope. A jab. Landell from out on the apron. But Williams drops down on Dennis Upton. Tag made by the Sheepherders again.
Battering ram.
Dennis Upton lying on the mat. Jonathan Boyd standing over him. Drops down with the upper arm. Goes for the cover. And it's over. 5 minutes, 35 seconds of time on it. All Sheepherders for at least the last 3 minutes of it. Now Buddy Landell in to try to help Upton out of there. Boyd still working on Upton. He's choking him with his right hand. Landell chasing Luke Williams around.
Well, and it's not like they didn't give enough punishment to Dennis while the match was going on. They got to do that. So the Sheepherders come through with another one of those brutal bouts in there as they end up the winners over the team of Landell and Upton. We're going to take time out, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Coming up, and boy, I'll tell you, you see the kind of Steve and Stan, and they really have been showing the wrestling world something. They gotta have the music louder. They're both looking mighty dapper today, and you're looking good, Steve. I'll say that for a fact. Uh-oh, here come the Sheepherders back out here, and they're nailing the Marauders. They've got no business in. They were involved in the last match, but I don't know what in the world they're doing in here. Sheepherders jumping on the Masked Marauders as Kern and Lane, the Fabulous. I don't know what they're in here for. Man, the Sheepherders throwing the Marauders out of the ring. And Jonathan Boyd is telling the Fabulous Ones, you get in the ring. We want some of that top competition. You're supposed to be it. You get in the ring. Well, the match was supposed to be the Fabulous Ones and the Masked Marauders. But the Marauders were dispensed with in a hurry. As now, here comes Eddie Marlin out. Eddie is trying to keep Stan and Steve out. One thing, he certainly doesn't want to encourage the Sheepherders to just muscle in by giving them what they want, and that's a match with the Fabulous Ones. Kern and Lane want in the ring. I don't know whether we're going to have the match or not. Eddie Marlin telling the Sheepherders to get out of here. They have pounded the Masked Marauders out and now wanted we're going to go with the original match scheduled. I think Steve Kern and Stan Lane wanted them in. Okay.
Well, no introductions here, I don't guess. The fabulous ones, you know.
We're off and running.
Forget
the formalities.
These are the Masked Marauders from parts unknown. Don't know where they're from. 437 pounds is their total weight. And everyone knows the fabulous ones, Steve Kern, Stan Lane, both out of Florida.
Lane and Kern were sitting on ready to get in there with the Sheepherders, but promoter Eddie Marlin came out, and I think, oh, boy, pop-all, and that was it. Masked Marauder over the top rope. They were bounced out of the ring by the Sheepherders. Steve Kern in there right now. They wanted to go, but I think Eddie was very wise because had they gotten the match right in there at that moment that they wanted, then that encourages that. And boy, we have enough problems as it is.
Absolutely. Wise
Steve
move.
Kern, big tag, then a big body slam, and Stan Lane comes in, says, nope, we're not going to get a pin on him. We are going to give the opportunity on a side suplex, give the crowd an opportunity to see a little bit of the fabulous ones. Both of these guys, Kern and Lane, have the capabilities of getting pretty doggone rugged and mean themselves, and I think they felt like it might have made them look like they were chicken because they didn't have a match with the Sheepherders, but not at all. That wasn't the intent. Big mare over and down, and the Marauder is being held by Steve Kern. They were ready to get in there with the Sheepherders, no doubt about it, but that is not the match that was scheduled. Fabulous Ones and the Masked Marauders, and that is underway right now.
And we're about 1:45 seconds into it. Steve Kern in there against... This is actually the bigger of the Marauders, the taller of the Marauders.
Kern going for a suplex. Over and down, and he got him. They entirely possible that they could have gotten that pin earlier when Stan picked him up in there because he had really set the other Marauder up. And now Lane takes over from Steve Kern, and again, over goes the Marauder. And the Fabulous Ones right on top of it all the way. It has not been a contest as such as Kern and Lane, just entirely too tough. There's a tag. Boy, these guys are in great shape. You can just look at them. Woo! And as he was coming off the rope, tag from Steve, he went up over the back of Stan Lane, and there's the pin right there. Met him hard, and he really bounced him down. Boy, oh boy.
No real problem for him at all. 2 minutes, 39 seconds the time. 2:39 for the Fabulous Ones.
Steve, I noticed with a motion of a little irritation and disgust, I think that they were irritated because they didn't get to show the Sheepherders that the Fabulous Ones certainly weren't afraid of them, and they ended up taking it out on the Marauders and showed that they can get pretty nasty when the going gets rough and they feel like it. Well, we did have an opportunity to see the Fabulous Ones in action going against the New York Dolls. We've got some highlights on that one, and let's take a look at it right now.
Kern having that head slammed into the top turnbuckle. Stan Lane comes in, grabs the Dream Machine from behind. Rick McGraw comes in to do some work on Steve Kern. Now Dream Machine back over. Kern fighting back. Reese fired him into the rope, clothesline and coming off there, makes the tag on Rick McGraw. New York Dolls with the upper hand for the moment. It was all Fabulous Ones for about the first 2.5 minutes. But then the New York Dolls with a double team and the cane of Jimmy Hart and the forehead of Steve Kern have pretty well taken control for the last minute or so. Hart holding up the chair, and Steve Kern sent Rick McGraw into that chair. And it's McGraw and Hart that get the worst of that deal.
Boy, he really whipped him in. He knocked Hart all the way back on the floor. Hart holding that chair up, and Steve reversed it and slammed his head into that chair. Hart goes flying back about 4 feet on the floor.
Kern in control. Well, he was for the moment. McGraw hit him right under the rib cage. Instead, both of them hit the mat as they run together. Both wrestlers on the mat. Stan Lane yelling to Steve, get up. Dream Machine and Jimmy Hart doing the same to McGraw. McGraw gets the tag. Dream Machine comes in, turns, unloads on him. Here's Stan Lane coming in. Knocks McGraw back out over the corners. Steve Kern's still in there, too.
McGraw bleeding pretty good himself, where Kern slammed him into that chair down on the floor. The Dream and Stan Lane.
Whoa! Lane. Pick up behind the head. Picks up the Dream Machine. Jimmy Hart trying to call him out of here. He was waving to the Dream Machine. Come on. He's well back in the corner. Lane and the Dream Machine rolling around here on the floor. Referee stops the match. A stop match. He counted them both out. Both teams out of the ring fighting on the floor, and the referee has stopped the match. It is not a disqualification now. I guess technically it could be a disqualification on both teams, but officially it goes in the book, stop match. No decision. Oh, wow. As Kern with hard chair unloads first on the Dream Machine and then McGraw. Woo! Hart and Dream Machine have left.
Oh, that was some action from Championship Wrestling, and we got a chance to see the Fabulous Ones in action a little bit more. We're going to take time out now. We'll be back in just a moment. Back into action here in just one moment on Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Hey, Saturday, November the 27th, you folks around North Vernon, Indiana, at the Jennings County High School, Championship Wrestling coming your way, my friend. You'll want to be there and see the New York Dolls. They'll be there. Tough Dutch Mantell will be there. Steve Regal and Spike Huber. Dick the Bruiser will be in North Vernon. That's on Saturday, November the 27th, Jennings County High School. Oh, yeah, let's take a look at Tuesday night. What a night it is. Bobby Fulton going against Crusher Broomfield. Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby Eaton against Jacques Rougeau and Terry Taylor. Mid-America heavyweight title. Dutch Mantell faces Jesse Barr with Jimmy Cornette in the corner. Southern Tag Team titles against the World titles when the Fabulous Ones meet the New York Dolls. And then finally that special added match in which Bill Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler will be meeting the Sheepherders. There's going to be that special little bounty added on top for Dundee and Lawler. $500 put up by the promoter Tuesday night. I'm ready to go with the next bout. We already have Aaron Holt and Ira Reese in the ring, and here comes Jimmy.
You know, he's out here running his mouth 90 miles an hour, but his brain is in neutral. I think I'm going to crawl over that, baby.
Why don't you guys get in the ring up there? We don't need any conversation out of you. We just want to see you in action.
My champion, big day, baby.
Now, come on.
Here in this area right now. Really don't do. Get in the ring there with all your families, you like. Put them in the ring now, and we'll beat the living daylights out of them. We're sick and tired of starting at the bottom, beating the living daylights out of them. We're sick of jabroni.
Hey, come on. Hey.
If they're so hot, if you're so hot, and you have the greatest team, put them in the ring now, and we'll beat them. We'll beat them right now, I'm telling you.
Hold it.
Get the dolls. Put all the family in there.
Wait a minute. You want a match? You want a match?
Yeah.
You want a match?
We want to beat them on TV.
You want a match?
Yeah,
well, hold it. Well, then what the hold it. What the Sheepherders want, the Sheepherders get. You want a match? Go to the ring, baby, because you can have a match with those guys up there, brother.
We want him and we want him.
Hey, you want a match with him? Go to the ring.
Hey, this just goes to prove my point. You Yanks don't have any guts. It's the likes of these idiots like that. That's all we've been beating. We want to beat somebody that means something. We want to beat this idiot here. We'll bring your dolls out and put them in there. We'll take the belts off them, too. And as far as the chocolate one, he's
John,
concerned.
hey. Come on, you guys. Will you guys get out of here? You've been in here. Now, come on. You're trying to get on every match that's in here.
Hey, Southern hospitality, you want a match? You got the match? Get in the ring. There you go, right there. I'm giving y'all the match. Let's hear it for him. Come on. You want a match?
Jimmy, now.
They want a match? They got a match. Southern hospitality, you got a match.
Will you guys just let us get on with it here? The match is already scheduled with Eaton and Sugar against them.
Idiots.
Jimmy!
Look at them. They're wrestling free on TV.
I know.
They're wrestling free on TV. Look at them up there.
Boy, you guys, I am
We don't get hot. We just get even, baby. Look at them.
Luke Williams, Jonathan Boyd in the ring with Ira Reese and Aaron Holt.
You know what they need is a manager, somebody like me, man. But look at them. They have no. Look at them. Oh, it's good. You got them, baby. That's right. Beautiful.
I tell you, the Sheepherders deserve Eaton and Sugar in there. I would love to see that myself, but not right now. You guys just...
That's right, man.
Hey, will you guys quit, man?
There you go, Lance. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him wrestling for free. What an idiot.
All right, Jimmy, come on. Bobby, let's get this thing. Listen, if you got nothing else to do, you guys go get in the ring or something. Don't be standing there.
They're not getting paid for it. Right, Dave? They're not getting paid
Eddie,
for it.
thank you.
Oh, here comes the next guard.
Come on, now look at it. He's getting up in the ring. Look at it.
Well, I'll tell you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what authority Eddie's got. Listen at him. Y'all guys get out of the ring. Listen.
Jimmy, now quit that stuff. Now, you know better than this.
Yeah, Eddie's a strong party. Oh, God, they killed him. They killed him, look, Bobby. Look at him. He's going to have a heart attack. Look at him.
Watch it.
Lawler giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Come on. Come on, give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, Lawler. Come on, 10-day, baby.
Hey, get ready to take a break. We're going to get out of here. Get ready to take a break. I want to get out away from this thing. Okay, go ahead. Let's take a break.
Killed Eddie.
And we're going to... Okay. David, here we go.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the action coming up, and that action is when Dutch Mantell and Bill Dundee got together to go against Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Let's take a look at it. Eaton slams him with that right hand. The Dutchman comes, chases him off. Sugar takes over in the ring on Bill Dundee. And Dutch gets nailed with a chair twice by Beautiful Bobby. Wow. This son of a gun. All the earmarks of a Third World War are underway right now with Eaton and Sugar against Dundee and Mantell. Dutch is hurt. He's coming back up to the ring apron, but he was blasted. I believe it's his left arm. I think in an effort to block, he got caught with his knee. Dutch was trying to block that chair that Eaton was swinging, and now Sugar pounded on Dundee while Eaton held him. Double elbow, and Dundee goes down, and here comes the Dutchman. He again jumps on Eaton. again, Billy's in the corner, but Dutch is already in the ring, pulling Eaton off, and Jimmy Hart slams Beautiful Bobby. He was trying to hit Dutch, but he slammed Beautiful Bobby, and that's going to be a disqualification, I'm sure, else he's stopping it. We were coming up to the 10-minute mark. Here comes Jesse Barr and Jimmy Cornette. They're going after Dutch Mantell. Barr is. Cornette, who is Jesse Barr's manager and a former week-long manager of Dutch Mantell, seizing the opportunity when Dutch was hurt to jump him. Dundee being worked over by Sugar and Eaton. Barr pile drives Dutch while Dundee is being pounded and pounded. Yeah, you saw the kind of brawl that turned into, as a matter of fact. And coming out right now, the newest of the managers, Jimmy Cornette, and his newest champion, Jesse Barr.
Lance, do you think we got Dutch Mantell's attention? I think, I abhor violence. I don't like violence at all. But it becomes necessary sometimes. We had to get Dutch Mantell's attention, and I told Jesse he had free rein to do whatever necessary, and I think that he accomplished that purpose very adequately. But you see, in addition, Jesse Barr is a great scientific wrestler as well. He doesn't have to brawl. You see the medals, the collegiate medals, the Olympic medals, and he even gave me one because I would have been in the Olympics too probably if I hadn't had asthma when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
But Mantell, we got your attention, and now there's something else that we're going to get, the Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. You know, when Dutch Mantell won that belt, all those fans that love him so much, they swooped down on that ring, and they carried him out on their shoulders. Well, upcoming, I promise you, he's going to be carried out. History will repeat itself, but it's not going to be on shoulders. It's going to be on a stretcher. Jesse Barr will have the Mid-America Heavyweight Championship, and once he does, Jerry Lawler, you're next.
Okay, well, we had heard that Dutch had agreed to a match, so Jesse Barr, the former Olympian, and manager Jimmy Cornette will be looking forward to the challenge time. And thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jesse. I think you'll find the Dutchman, whenever you meet him, is going to be up to anything that's put in the ring against him. I've never seen him when he wasn't. Okay, we're about ready to go, David, with our next bout. Better luck on this one than the last.
Yeah, well, I tell you, well, at least all the right participants are in here so far with this one. At a total of 448 pounds from parts unknown, the enforcer, as is his partner from Memphis, Tennessee, Jesse Owens, and going against him at a total of 431 pounds from Columbus, Ohio, Bobby Fulton. And from Australia, the superstar, Bill Dundee. This match to the expiration of time, as a matter of fact. And the referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, ready for it, and the superstar comes out going against the enforcer, David.
The enforcer, on his feet quickly, but he saw the Bill Dundee. He was already on his feet, and he backed up just about a half step. Dundee with the headlock. Enforcer wrestling under the mask on the mat right now. Tries to roll Bill's shoulders down, and he did, but he couldn't hold him there for a 3 count. Nowhere close to it, as a matter of fact. Dundee picks the legs up from under him. Shoulders down, but the enforcer's under the rope. Dundee pats him gently as he's breaking and backing away. The enforcer back on his feet. Bill Dundee giving away weight to the enforcer, but he gives away weight to just about everybody he steps into the ring with, and it hasn't made much difference over his fine career. This is Bobby Fulton. Bobby, young wrestler out of Columbus, Ohio. Bobby has really been giving some folks battles for the last few weeks and months. Been getting some advice from Bill Dundee, as Bill told us on an earlier championship wrestling. He had been watching Bobby Fulton and thought maybe Bobby was suffering from a lack of confidence, not believing he could beat his opponent when he went into the ring. Bobby in there with a new attitude. And having Bill Dundee as a partner doesn't hurt either. This tag made. Here's Dundee back in. The referee says, only one at a time. Bill Dundee says, all right, Bobby, let's wrestle right by that rule. Oh, the enforcer. He raked his hand across Bill Dundee's eyes, slams the head into the turnbuckle. The enforcer trying to take control of the action. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone. Dundee in the air, body slam by the enforcer. He makes the tag on his partner. And our first look at Jesse Owens today. Dundee dumped him on the mat. Billy back close to the corner, but did not make a tag. Round behind, Jesse Owens. Dundee lets Owens back up on his feet. The enforcer from behind, out on the apron, trying to reach in and grab Dundee, pull him back into the corner. The enforcer standing in the corner, reaching for Dundee, and Bill says, okay, I'll tag you if you want to come in and wrestle your own partner, Jesse Owens. Bill Dundee. Kind of toying with Jesse Owens a bit. Owens to the corner, makes the tag. Here's the enforcer. The enforcer considering a leg dive, but Dundee bouncing around the ring there. The enforcer thought better of it. Billy slips around behind him. Enforcer around behind Bill Dundee. Billy drops him to the mat. Shoulders were down for a count of 2. 4 minutes gone. 4 minutes gone in this fall. Bill standing at the wrist. Oh, stomps the fingers. Bill. Round behind the enforcer working on the mask. He's got it turned around. And the enforcer having a little difficulty figuring exactly where he is. He's found the rope. He's wandering down the rope, hoping to get to his corner, but instead he walks into a fist by Bobby Fulton. Enforcer now trying to tag the referee. The referee's going to try to help him get that mask turned back around. Billy's got it turned sideways. There's the tag made by the enforcer, and Jesse Owens will be coming in. Not sure that helped much. Bill was pulling on the beard of Jesse Owens, and the referee came around and just yanked his hand. That stopped the beard pulling, but had to hurt him. Bobby Fulton in there. Fulton with Jesse Owens on the mat. Fulton in the headlock. 5 minutes, 45 seconds of action gone. Bobby makes the tag on Bill Dundee as we pass 6 minutes. Dundee into the rope, holds on. Jesse Owens was set to nail him as he came off the ropes, and Bill just hung onto that top rope when he bounced in there. Owens forced to make a tag on the enforcer by Bill Dundee. Enforcer. And Bill into the rope. Back drops him. It's down with a leg and a cover. 1, 2. But that's a 2 count. Bill Dundee kicks out of it. Bobby Fulton in the cheering section going for Bill Dundee. Enforcer fires it into the ropes again. This time he nails him with the upper arm. Billy bounces on the mat. The Enforcer standing over it. Dundee drops him down. Heads to the corner. Did not get the tag. Enforcer pulls him back to the center of the ring. Right hand by the Enforcer. Bill Dundee hanging on the rope. Enforcer using the opportunity to choke him, then dumps him back in the ring. Billy back in the corner. Enforcer starts in, and the boot of Bill Dundee prevents him from getting to him in the corner. Enforcer fired into the rope. Set up for Bobby Fulton. Fulton with the upper arm. Time to get him to run short here. Fulton fired toward the rope, catches himself. 1, 2, 3. Great move, and I wonder who taught him that. Well, we've seen Dundee do that so many times. It looked like he has been coaching Bobby Fulton. Fulton caught himself on the rope and fired right back out into the ring. Got the pin, the count of 3, and that is it. 7 minutes, 55 seconds, 7:55. Bill Dundee and Bobby Fulton, they worked pretty good together as a tag team. I mentioned earlier that Dundee had told Bobby that one of his problems was that he just didn't have the confidence to feel that when he stepped into that ring, he could beat his opponent. I think maybe he's changed that now.
And you know, it's an interesting thing, too, Dave, a couple of things about it. One of them is I think Billy is absolutely right. There is just seems to be, whether it's in putting or hitting a baseball or whatever it is that mental awareness that you can do it. I think that's what he's trying to get across to Fulton. And the second thing that I really appreciate Bill's attitude about it is the fact that Bobby Fulton may one day be looking to take on Bill Dundee. You know what I mean?
That's
because
true.
It's a competitive business, boy, and so I think it's a great thing for Billy to give him the leg up and help him out and all. Because when Bobby came in, as we said, kind of tentative, but boy, he's sure looking aggressive now. And okay, the winners Dundee and Fulton. We're going to take time out, check our time, and we'll be back in a moment. Back into the ring here on Wave Country's Championship Wrestling in just a moment. Well, you saw it, disgusting as it was, but it's happened. The added bout. Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler against the Sheepherders, and Eddie Marlin's got that special little incentive bonus up there, Bill. $500, and so if you guys can take care of the Sheepherders.
Oh, we can take care of them. We could take care of them for nothing, but for an extra $500. The guy standing over to your right is Jerry the King Lawler. Now, let me tell you guys something, how he got the name King. He didn't get it because he just put a crown on his head. He earned it, brother. There's an awful lot of people come through here going to get rid of the king. They're going to get rid of the superstar. But we're still here. Now, Lancer, you know when it gets a little, when things get going real bad, not going the king's way, he's likely to do anything. He may burn you. He may throw powder in your face. He may beat your brains out with a chain. Well, that's all right, Daddy, because I'm on his side, and we're going to collect the money, and that's a promise.
I got a feeling, Jerry, I don't care what you do to the Sheepherders, you're not going to get a reprimand from the promoter.
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to Tuesday night. That's one where you can just take that old rule book, throw it right out the window, do anything we want to do, and that's the kind of match that I like, Lance. These Sheepherders are trying to get a foothold in this area. If you look up the word ugly in the dictionary, they got that one that stands out front, they got his picture there. And the other one that runs his mouth in the back, he's about 3 bricks shy of a load, so we don't know too much about either one of them. But there is one thing that I do know. To get Eddie Marlin to promise $500 if you hurt one, he has to be carried out, or $1,000 if one has to go to the hospital, right. That, Lance, is very unusual. And that's something that don't come along very often, and that's something that I definitely want to take advantage of. So I want to tell you this, Sheepherders, you can come and you better be prepared for anything, because like Bill said, I'm pulling out all the stops, brother, in Louisville Tuesday night. It may be a hot time down at the old Louisville Gardens. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the Sheepherders will be, though.
Get ready to get your tickets right now, my friend. Louisville Gardens come Tuesday night. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee against the Sheepherders. Going to have a little settling Judgment Day coming up Tuesday night when it all takes place. You make your plans to be there. Battle it right on down. Bobby Fulton had about another 15 seconds or a minute and 15 seconds or so, and then it would have been a draw, but he got the pin, got himself a win out of that for he and his partner, Bill Dundee, with that flying press. Good-looking move.
Yes, indeed it was.
How about the rest of the action today, Dave?
In the first match that we had in the studio here on Championship Wrestling today, the Sheepherders, Jonathan Boyd, Luke Williams, defeating the team of Buddy Landell and Dennis Upton. Once they got Upton in the ring, they were able to work him over, and in 5 minutes, 35 seconds, Sheepherders get the win. The Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern, Stan Lane, winning their match over the Masked Marauders. The Sheepherders jumped in and got involved in that one, too, but the match did take place, Masked Marauders against the Fabulous Ones, and the Fabulous Ones winning it. But then, it was Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton scheduled against Aaron Holt and Ira Reese. Well, that match never took place because the Sheepherders again back in. And they were beating up on Aaron Holt and Ira Reese, as Sugar and Eaton were over here enjoying the whole thing with Jimmy Hart. So that match actually never got started. So, well, no match, no winner, all right? Then it was Bill Dundee and Bobby Fulton. And as we remarked already about Bobby Fulton and Bill Dundee looking mighty good together as a tag team, defeated the team of the Enforcer and Jesse Owens. Now, when the Enforcer was in there, he was able to really battle Bill Dundee a couple of times. But in the end, it was Dundee and Fulton winning in a little under 8 minutes.
Well, it was one of those days, primarily because of the Sheepherders, David, that we often wake up and think about in the middle of the night. These guys just want in. If they keep asking, brother, they are going to receive everything they
want. Get them a match. Yes, sir.
They're becoming a royal New Zealand pain in the ear. Hey, we're out of time. Next week, we'll be back. Lance Russell for Dave Brown saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.
Hope you are, because we got plenty of it to offer today, David.
I'm ready. We're going to have the New York Dolls in here in the opening match, tag team match today. Superstar Bill Dundee will be along in a single match, and we'll have Jesse Barr, the brand new Mid-America champion. He will be in what should be a fine match against Terry Taylor, single match there. Dutch Mantell goes against Carl Fergie, and it'll be Sweet Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton going against the Fabulous Ones in an expiration of time main event.
We got some action coming up today. You better believe it. If nothing else, that expiration of time, we'll be sitting on ready, waiting to go in that. We've got some other great bouts coming along, some highlights and all of that today on Championship Wrestling. Buckle down those seat belts. We're going to take time out. We'll be back with an opening bout for you coming up in just one moment.
Action going to be coming up here in just a moment with the New York Dolls in the ring. In a tag team match, it will be a non-title match, but tag team action featuring the New York Dolls nonetheless. Their opponent's coming up here right now. Before we get this match underway, though, you had a couple words.
Yeah, I wanted for the folks that might have missed it in there, I wanted to make the announcement. I was going to say it on the opening in there, and I got so excited about it, that Eddie Marlin, as a result of the last week action that took place right here in the Championship Wrestling, ended up, when he got hit after reviewing the whole situation, Marlin has fired the Sheepherders, and they are gone. 1,700 miles flapping their arms to get back to New Zealand.
For New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, boy, here they come. Ready to go with that opening match.
The world belts, the Southern belts We got them all, baby. We got them all.
You know what you did? You can't kid me. You stole those.
We didn't steal it. No. Possession is 9/10 of the law, baby. Jimmy Hart don't steal nothing, baby. Southern champions, world champions.
No, not Southern champions, world champions. World champions, yeah, but they stole these belts right here, Dave, and don't let anybody tell you any other different. Okay, we'll get beyond Hart and all of his screaming with the dolls, and here we go, official announcement.
It's one fall, 15-minute time limit match, introducing at a total of 415 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Ira Reese, and his partner from Tupelo, Mississippi, Ken Raper, going against him at a total of 481 pounds. From New Orleans, the Dream Machine. From Hell's Kitchen, New York, Rick McGraw with their manager, Jimmy Hart, the New York Dolls. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, it's going to be Ken Raper starting out with the Dream Machine, and the Dream starting off with one of those coyote hollers in there, Dave.
Raper fired into the ropes, leaps over, sets himself. Dream Machine turns and wades back into the battle. This time he puts Raper into the ropes, and he's set with a foot as Raper comes off of there. Calls for the knee of Rick McGraw in the corner. McGraw puts foot to the midsection.
Again, with all respect to the opposition, I'm talking about Raper and his partner, Ira Reese, going against the world champs, even in a non-title bout. No little doubt that McGraw and the Dream Machine, heavy favorites in here. It's too much for them.
It'll be a major upset, title or none, if Raper and Reese are able to defeat them. Stranger things have happened, but...
hey, that's miracles do pop up every now and then.
They have indeed.
We'll keep an eye on this one.
Dream Machine off the ropes in the corner. Ken Raper still in there. Dream flips it. Grabs him from around behind. I think he may have slipped into a chokehold there initially as he grabbed him.
Well, they let him get over there and tag, and maybe they'll find out.
Dream Machine. Double chop across the collarbone. Ken Raper into the ropes again, and there's a chop. Dream Machine sits down with the upper arm. 1, 2, only 2. Raper kicked out at the 2 count. He's hanging in there. Air pulling by the Dream Machine. Referee saw him. He was 4 feet away at the time, and he immediately called for the break. Here's McGraw. Rick McGraw out of Hell's Kitchen, New York. Body slams Ken Raper. Drops with the arm. Does not go for the cover. Drops with a knee.
Well, this McGraw is fully packed. He doesn't have a whole lot of height on him, but he is so thick. Good night.
He's solid. He's working the face lock there against Ken Raper.
You know, with a guy like that, Dave, it is very hard to get things like abdominal stretches and that sort of thing on a guy like McGraw because he is so thick, even though he doesn't have tremendous height. It's very difficult to get a lot of holes on.
McGraw, the one with the hole right now. Ken Raper's been in there all the way. We're just past the 3-minute mark. 3 minutes gone.
Oh, here comes the... The fabulous one, Stan Lane, just came over and relieved the New York Dolls of a little excessive weight. They picked up both belts, Dave. Jim talking about what about possession being 9/10 of the law, Jimmy?
Flash by the Dream, 2 and 3. Now, Dream Machine throws Ira Reese over the top rope. Goes back to work on Ken Raper. This match is over. The New York Dolls have won it. But the New York Dolls upset because their belts, the world belts and the southern belts, have just disappeared. The fabulous ones came in here and picked them up.
Hey, I'm not going to stop them. You guys stop them. Yeah. Why don't we leave that up to you to do all the
Go get them
stopping
back
on
if
it?
you want them, yeah.
Yeah, just go take them away from me. You think you're big enough. Jimmy's talking about possession being 9/10 of the law.
That's what he
Okay,
said.
well, stay in the lane. Steve Kern, the fabulous ones, now are in possession of it. End result of the first one, I don't think was a distinct surprise or anything like that. New York Dolls come. What was the time on that?
Time on it was 3 minutes, 41 seconds.
3:41. We got plenty of action. As a matter of fact, we're going to be taking a look at the Superstar not too many minutes from right now. Stay where you are. All right, back into Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Boy, Tuesday night, I got to tell you, an entire card, which a little later on I'm going to give you, and it's going to be something you'll want to be there. 2 matches I want to mention. One, a Southern Tag title match versus the World Tag titles. With no time, no disqualification, the fabulous ones, the Southern champs against the World champ New York Dolls of Jimmy Hart. And then a bout that was made, and you'll see why coming up in a little bit, with Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler to go against the Sheepherders in this particular one. Yes, sir, we got a bout coming up with the New York Dolls against the Fabulous.
Woo, the New York Dolls, what a great night it's going to be. My Dolls are going to be the champions. I'm telling you right now, we're going to hold all the belts. But you know what? I'm telling you, I realize, there's no doubt in my mind that Dundee paid the Sheepherders to knock him over the head so he wouldn't have to crawl in the ring with him. The wild man from Barrio will go in the ring, the Southern champion, and he'll come out the Southern champion. Come on, Dreamboat, let's go. Come on, baby.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, they're going to get an opportunity to see exactly what Hart was talking about, how the Sheepherders jumped in and nailed Dundee. They'll see it in a minute, but the match is made.
The Sheepherders. They're such bad, bloody men. They come in and knock the man's brains out on TV with a metal pipe. You're bloody right we did, and I'll show you why we did. We went into this ring to face these two men. We had a bounty on us. We could beat these two men any day of the bloody week. Yeah. But nobody told us what these men were capable of. But they don't know what we're capable of either. Hey, see this? We just talked to Eddie Marlin, and we got a non-cancellation contract now. We can't be fired for any reason. And see this bloody burn on his neck? Lawler, you put that on his neck, and for the first time in my bloody life, I heard my cousin scream. So we're staying, whether you wanted us to stay or not. If we had to knock on your door, we'd do it. But now we're going to do it in front of thousands of people. We're going to destroy you, Dundee. And Lawler, you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
You know, we've talked about it, Dave. As a matter of fact, we both talked to the King about it. He's not one of these guys who has a history of playing at the safest in the world. And he ended up in a match in which his Southern belt was against that flaky handicap belt that Hart has in there, and Hart brought him in a new partner. This is a guy I not only never saw before, never heard of before. Hart says his name is Sabu, the wild man from Borneo. Well, let me tell you, and I chuckled up my sleeve about Hart's description of the thing. Let's take a look at some of the action, and you'll get a little better look at who this partner that Hart brought in was. I want you to see this. Remember now, the Southern heavyweight belt was against this handicap match, and that is Sabu, the wild man from Borneo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next bout will be a special match.
Only reason he did it was to get Hart in the ring. Boy, look at this guy move. Whoa! Unbelievable speed. And look at this. Gets a count of one. No danger, really, but you always have to be careful. Lawler flips him over. And caught in between. 1, 2. Suddenly finds himself facing a legitimate, absolute surprise. Look at this guy move. Big drop kick, and Lawler is down. Lawler with his arms pinned around the ropes on a corner, and he nailed Sabu, but Sabu never flinched. He busted Lawler with a double-handed chop, and Hart is in ecstasy. He's running up and down, hopping and skipping on the ring apron, and Lawler is still staring in amazement. What is this?
This guy is really unbelievable. Has Lawler in the corner.
I've been interested in watching that bewildered look on Lawler's face. Oh, boy, no bewildered look now. A look of pain as the Wild Man stings him in both ears. The Wild Man comes in and zings Lawler right in the throat. Hart escapes again. Wow. Headbutt. Lawler down. One, and Jerry kicks out at the count of 2. Lawler slams. The referee trying to get Hart out of the ring, and Hart and Calhoun, who have no love for each other, battling in the corner as the Wild Man has Lawler pinned. Count of 1, 2. Jerry took his time. He wasn't worried till the count started. And again, he's throttling Lawler with that move. Jerry pushed him off. And he really crunched Lawler that time. Lawler just made it. Lawler, let me tell you, is in serious, serious trouble with this guy. Drives his head into the midsection. Well, we haven't counted Jerry out by a long shot. I think all of you know him too well. He has great recuperative power, tremendous stamina. But part of it just left as again Sabu buried his head into the midsection. Crowd sees Lawler get nailed and senses the King about to make one of those patented returns to action after being beat around by this Wild Man. Lawler whips that top down. And here he comes. And the Wild Man coming up behind Lawler. Grabs him and zeroes him. We told you about that collar. He's got it wrapped around his hand. 2, 3. Good night. Hart wins the Southern Heavyweight title. Well, I kind of, in the excitement and the amazement on the thing, I couldn't believe it. I said Hart won it. Actually, Sabu, the guy that got the pin on the thing, and it just was a stunning situation in there, and one that we regret, but I can tell you somebody who regrets it a whole lot more than we do, and that's the King. Let's get into action. Superstar coming in right now. Bring him on. Okay, coming in right now, the enforcer who will be going against Billy Dundee in our next one-fall 15-minute time limit bout. Plenty of action yet to go. We've got the fabulous ones going against Brown Sugar and Eaton, and here comes Billy, and let's go for the announcements. Okay, Dave.
One-fall 15-minute time limit match from parts unknown at 227 pounds. The enforcer on the left of the screen, and across the way from Australia, 214 pounds, the superstar Bill Dundee. This match one-fall 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
No time, and here we go, off and running on this 115 match, and Bill Dundee circling, meets, and hooks that arm, takes the enforcer over and down. Really, always loved to watch him in action in there. He is going against a guy who is really built. This enforcer, stout son of a gun. We've seen him several times, Dave.
Yeah, we have seen him before. He is a wrestler who will resort to any means if he feels like he needs to, and he usually does. He is not to be taken lightly by Bill Dundee or anyone else.
Billy backed off from that backdrop that the enforcer was getting ready to go. Double leg dive takes the enforcer down, and referee Jerry Calhoun looking for the shoulders. Right shoulder was up in the air, so no count. Spinning leg lock. Bill hooks it down. Enforcer on the deck. It's a 1-fall, 15-minute time limit with the enforcer against superstar Bill Dundee in the event that you just joined us. You're a little late. As a matter of fact, one exciting thing during the first match was the fact that the New York Dolls bought both the World Tag titles and the Southern titles out here. Jimmy Hart was talking about possession being 9/10 of the ball. During the match, the fabulous ones came out and simply relieved them of the burden of carrying around all those titles.
They took possession of it.
Yes, they did.
As a matter of fact.
Okay, Billy straight back around, waist locks him as he moves in behind, takes him over and down, gets a 1, 2, and almost. Boy, good move. He went in behind the enforcer, and the enforcer getting a little irritated.
Yeah, a little upset. Well, Bill's been totally in control of this match so far. We're almost 2 minutes in. Well, he was up until that moment. But
people often tell me you had to open your big mouth.
Yeah, about that time, yeah. Well, the enforcer using a fist on him. That's twice he's hit him with that doubled-up fist.
You noted before that last collision that he was getting a little upset at Bill's playful tactics. Then he misses an elbow, and Billy rolls out of the way.
Billy answers him, though, coming off the rope. Well, he had that one timed. He had that right fist ready to go.
What is this? Comes in. Hey, those guys aren't even supposed to be here.
That's Luke Williams, Ed. The Sheepherders.
Sheepherders who have no business even being here. Eddie Marlin has fired these guys. They got no... And here comes Lawler, Terry Taylor, Bobby Fulton. Get them out of here and get them out of the studio. We sure don't need them around here.
Well, they nailed Bill. I know what that was. That was half of that flag staff, the flagpole that they carry around the New Zealand flag, that they smacked Bill right in the top of the head.
Boy, I'll tell you, he whaled him right in the back of the head in there, and those guys got no business even being on these premises in here. They're no longer a part of championship wrestling, and they come rolling in here and nail Dundee right in the back of the head. Jerry's checking Billy's eyes down, and he was really blasted in the back of the head. The Sheepherders, Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams, who last week caused more than their share of problems and irritations in here, and they come in and pull a cheap trick like that. They're not even supposed to be on a premises. Dundee, very little consolation, will end up winning it on a disqualification as they jumped it, and the referee has little alternative when that happens but to disqualify for, even though the enforcer probably had not one whit of thing to do with it. So they're helping Billy out of here, and disqualification. Dundee was really laced down the back of the head, and Dave called it right, I think. It was the bottom part of that New Zealand flagpole that the New Zealanders used to carry around whenever they came in. So, Bill Dundee, who came in here, was doing very well in his match with the enforcer until the Sheepherders came up and bombed him from behind with that, not even a fist, just with a flagpole thing in there. Okay, Bill, Dave, let's us take time out, and we're going to be back with more championship wrestling in just a moment. There he comes, Jimmy Cornette and Jesse Barr, who has the Mid-America Heavyweight title, and the situation. Yeah, I noticed that you're not showing me anything brand new, Jimmy. He's got the belt around his waist, and you've got a big smile on your face.
I told all you people last week. I told all you truck drivers. I told you ditch diggers. I told you welfare cases. I told everybody that I had the next Mid-America Heavyweight champion, and I believe you see.
Yeah, I see it right there, but
But you know, the thing that disturbs me is that this man is a scientific wrestler. He won that belt legally. He won it all by himself, but people, for some reason, seem to think that he breaks rules. I don't understand that. This man won the belt all by himself, and I'm proud of him.
Well, keep talking, Jimmy. You have a hard time convincing everybody of that.
But you know something? The one thing that did disturb me, those people in that arena, when he won that belt, they stood up and booed. They booed him, a man that represented his country in the Olympic Games. They booed me, a Cornette. I cannot understand that. I can't understand it. These people act like animals, but it doesn't bother me that bad because they're beneath my contempt. You just don't know how to act in public. But I believe we have a match here.
Yes, you certainly do.
Lance, and I don't believe that this will take very long, and I think this will once again reinforce in your mind the fact that Jesse Barr is the greatest athlete you're ever going to see.
Mid-America heavyweight champ Jesse Barr heading to the ring right now with manager Jimmy Cornette, and he's got quite a task put out today. He's got him Terry Taylor. Let's go back to Dave, and we're ready.
It's going to be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. It is not a title match. Introducing first from Vero Beach, Florida, 215 pounds, Terry Taylor. Going against Terry with manager Jim Cornette, the brand-new Mid-America champion from Portland, Oregon, 245 pounds, Jesse Barr. One-fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Jesse Boom Boom Barr, Lance.
That's a great idea.
Boom, boom.
Jimmy.
Huh?
Okay, here we go, and this ought to be a good match.
It should be indeed. Terry Taylor, fine wrestler out of Vero Beach, Florida.
Here's a situation, too, where we have two former excellent amateur wrestlers, as a matter of fact. Barr, who did win probably as many amateur titles as any wrestler ever out of the state of Oregon, and Terry Taylor, Guilford College. He went there on a scholarship, as a matter of fact. Wrestled, played football. Should be a good one.
Terry back on his feet real quick. Little outmaneuvering of the Mid-America champion, the brand new Mid-America heavyweight champion, Jesse Barr. Terry round behind him. Nice takedown. Puts Barr down to the mat, off his feet. Barr moving, though. Not allowing Terry to set up on a hole. Barr slides under the bottom rope. Jimmy Cornette stands from his chair and yells something at the referee. Good takedown by Barr. Terry Taylor on the mat. Terry Taylor flips out of it. And he's the one that ends up with a hold on Jesse Barr. That brought Cornette to his feet. Back on the rope. Terry Taylor makes nice clean break, backs away. Minute 35 seconds gone. Terry Taylor kept rolling. Jesse Barr on the mat. Hammer on him by Terry Taylor. Ooh. Twist. And another. Terry flips, takes the pressure off, kicks Jesse Barr back up on his feet. Jesse Barr around behind. Terry Taylor's left arm hammered up behind him. Drives him down to the mat. Drops on the upper arm of the knee. Jesse Barr. Oh, what a move. Cornette yelling for Terry to give it up on submission. Boy, the look that Terry gave Cornette over here in the corner. Terry Taylor. Oh, what a move. He jumped. Barr. Jesse Boom Boom Barr, as Jimmy Cornette says. Barr hanging on to that headlock. Terry Taylor with the head scissors on Jesse Barr. Barr is trying to kick his way out of it. Terry's clamped down pretty good. This is a hold that it is not easy to get out of. You can get out of it, and Jesse Barr does one of the surest ways to get out. But let me tell you, it's tough on the ears when he does that headstand and then flips out. Jesse Barr, out of one head scissors, finds himself in another. This time Terry Taylor is trying to prevent him from turning it. Oh, snapped out of it. Terry Taylor ends up with the advantage again. Great reaction by Taylor as Barr slipped out of the head scissors. Back in the corner. Referee Terry Calhoun trying to get in between them, get him out of the corner. Barr nails Terry Taylor with a right fist. Knee lift. 4 minutes, 15 seconds gone. Another vicious knee lift by Jesse Barr. We are mentioning the knee lift. A bear hug by Barr. Terry Taylor being asked by the referee. Taylor is shaking his head. Oh, he's not giving it up. He's hanging in there. Jesse Barr drops his shoulders down. Count of 2. 2 counts, all he got. Terry able to flip that left shoulder up away from the mat to prevent the 3 count there. His shoulders down again and a count of 2. Difficult to get a pin like that. The 2 counts all he could get. Terry Taylor with the upper arm breaks out of the bear hug. Taylor up in the air. Jesse Barr with a body slam goes for the corner. Drops down and misses as Taylor had moved. Terry coming back with a right hand. Barr in the rope. Good drop kick by Terry Taylor. That's Mantell. After Jimmy Cornette. Okay, it's a disqualification on Jesse Barr because Jim Cornette trying to get away from Mantell went through the ring. So when he went in the ring...
Came around on the side of the ring over here. Dutch didn't go in the ring. He went after Cornette. And when Cornette jumped in, disqualification on Jesse Barr. So the winner is going to be Terry Taylor. And I'll tell you who the real winner is, and that's Jimmy Cornette. Because Dutch Mantell didn't catch him.
You're right.
Well, that would have been something we'd have had right here on Championship Wrestling. So the winner by disqualification is Terry Taylor.
5:33.
5:33. We got more action coming up. We're going to get to it in just one moment. Before we get back in the ring, I want to remind you that tonight in North Vernon, Indiana, at the Jennings County High School Big Championship Wrestling, New York Dolls will be there. Dick the Bruiser is going to be there with Regal and Huber. And then on Thursday, December the 9th, Columbia, Kentucky, Adair County High School, sponsored by the Fire Department. Couple of names, Lawler and Dundee, are going to be there. Now, Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens, listen here. 6-man elimination match with the winner to get a Southern Heavyweight Championship shot. Terry Taylor, Jacques Rougeau, Bobby Fulton, Sweet Brown Sugar, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Crusher Broomfield. Then a Mid-America title match when Jesse Barr defends against Dutch Mantell. It'll be a bout with a Southern Heavyweight title with Sabu, the new title holder, going against Bill Dundee. Southern Tag titles against the World Tag titles. No time, no disqualification. The Fabulous Ones against the New York Dolls Tuesday night. And then the big main event that was just added, and that's the Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler against the Sheepherders. Tuesday night, all of it happening in the Gardens. And we're going to be ready to go here in just one moment as Carl Fergie coming in for his match with Dutch Mantell. And remember, in addition to this, we've also got the expiration of time with the Fabulous Ones going against Brown Sugar and Eaton. Jerry Lawler coming back in. We've got a match coming up here,
I just wanted to come out here for 1 second. I know there's a match coming up, but I just want to take a second of your time. Now, you know, I was out here a few minutes ago, and I was kind of brushing things off because we get hit a lot and we get knocked around a lot, and it's usually not all that serious. But it looks like it may be pretty serious with Bill back there. He's still not coming around exactly right. So what I did, I've made a few phone calls. I've talked with a few people. I talked. You know, this is the kind of thing that what you don't need to do. You don't need to let something like this go on, and you don't need to let it go unanswered. Now, if those two jerks think that they're going to come in here after they've been fired, they weren't even supposed to be here today.
Not on the
They're going to come in here and take out something on Bill or take out something on me that Eddie Marlin did to him. Well, brother, they got another thing coming. I just talked with Eddie Marlin. I said, Eddie, now listen, last week we did Eddie Marlin a favor. They punched him. They didn't punch me. They didn't punch Bill. They punched Eddie Marlin. We came out and we did Eddie a favor by taking those two clowns and frying one of them's face down there last week. Now they're going to come and they're going to try to take it out on me and Bill, and especially I'm the one that did the damage, and they jumped on Bill. Well, I don't like it one bit, so I just talked to Eddie Marlin. I said, now, Eddie, you owe us a favor. I tell you what I want you to do. I want you to rehire him or reinstate him or whatever you have to do, and I don't care what you have to promise them, but I want you to get him down there one more time this week, and I want... And I don't, like I said, it looks pretty serious with Bill, but he will be there. I don't care if I just have to wheel him out to the ring, walk him out to the ring, set him in a chair or whatever. But, brother, they're not going to jump on Dundee for something that I did and get away with it. Now, they're going to have him out there. I talked to Eddie. He's talked to them. They're going to be down there, and they're going to add the match one more time, and that's all I'm going to need. Because if that jerk, if that clown from New Zealand thinks that what he got last week was something, brother, that's just a start. That's just a little taste of what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to finish them both off, Lance, in one night. I don't care if Bill's able to wrestle or not. He's going to be there. He's going to stand in the corner. I'll finish both those clowns off, and then they won't have to be fired. They'll leave on their own.
They are rehired now.
They're going to be there this week. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, all right, Davey. We greet that with mixed emotion. I understand Jerry's being upset about it, but, well, anyhow, here we go. We got this official match coming up.
All right, this match is going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit. From Atlanta, Georgia, 238 pounds, Carl Fergie, and going against him from Oil Trough, Texas, 224 pounds, Dutch Mantell. This match, one fall, 15. And the referee is Jerry Calhoun.
It's quite a pairing in there, too. Big Carl Fergie calls himself Pretty Boy, going against the tough Dutchman. And bell sounds. I would say that there's one additional little thing that is in Dutch Mantell's favor, and that's the fact that he is some irritated about the situation over the Mid-America heavyweight title belt. And Carl Fergie, as big as he is, may find out that this roughneck from Oil Trough, Texas, may take a little of it out on him.
May transfer some of the hostility there.
Oh, yeah, well put. Head scissors, and Dutch is back up on his feet while Fergie talks to referee Jerry Calhoun about Dutch pulling the hair. There is no doubt in my mind or anybody else's mind that Dutch will pull hair and a few other things.
Yeah, well, he said it himself many times. He didn't get the name Dirty Dutch. Whatever. He said he got it honest.
Dutch fired in, but he's off with that shoulder, and Big Carl goes down. Mantell right over the top of him. Boy, he is quick. He is quick. An authentic speedster, Mantell is, and he's going against Carl Fergie. Carl, who is a big, rugged guy. He'll go in there. I don't know what your official weight, but he'll go over 240, something like that, or right at it. Looks like it to me.
Yeah, he's put on considerable weight in the last couple of years. I guess when we first saw Carl, he was weighing about 228, 230, and he is built past the 240 mark.
Fergie back up into the corner, into the turnbuckles. Mantell right on top. The referee trying to get Fergie now to let go. He's got a handful of hair, and he blasts the Dutchman in the corner right up here above us. Fergie caught in the reversal. Look at Mantell. Big body slam. He powered him out of there and banged him down. It's a one-fall, 15-minute time limit bout, and Fergie bounced off that mat very hard as Dutch caught him coming off those turnbuckles where he slammed him in.
It's one of those examples. You keep picking at Dutch, he's not going to let you get away with it forever. As a matter of fact, not for long. He's not going to let you get away with it.
That's right. Tied up. Mantell made the move under, then came over with it. Working on that shoulder of Carl Fergie as Dutch comes in with a tight bar and steps over the back so he can really get some leverage coming up. Mantell with Carl Fergie down, and he tightens up on that bar even more. He is right at that shoulder, hurting. Fergie trying to figure 2 or 3 ways. One of the things is to walk out, and that's what Fergie's doing. He can go for a single leg dive, and a lot of times the guy can block that by moving the leg on it. Fergie came up. He needs to be on his feet. He's got the height advantage, and he can get a lot of leverage when he's standing up like that. Fergie shoves him in, and as he went to go with a hip toss, the Dutchman blocked him. Beautiful. Oh, boy. Temper's getting a little wild. Fergie burying that big knee right into the midsection of Mantell, and he really put him down. Oh, Dutch slammed with that knee in the air, body slam coming up, and down goes Mantell. And Carl Fergie gets a pin, 1, 2, and that's all he got. Covered him up, but he got a 2 count out of it. Mantell flipped him. Well, now we got a both man.
Yeah. At the 4-minute mark in the match. 4 minutes gone. Boy, what a battle they've had here the last minute or so. They have really been going at each other.
Flies him over, and only a 1 count. Dutch kicked both legs, and he was out of it.
Oh, look out.
Here comes Barr. Here comes Cornette. Fergie holding Mantell while Jesse Barr banging away at him. Dutch has already won it, but disqualification, certainly no satisfaction there. Jimmy Cornette, who is up there popping around and directing traffic on beating on Mantell, is going to find himself caught one of these days, and here comes Bobby Fulton out, bringing the Dutchman's big whip. Dutch says, give it to me, Big. Fergie's going to lose it on a disqualification when Cornette and Barr came in and jumped Dutch. Bobby Fulton came in. He had Dutch's whip with him, and that kind of cleared house real quick.
Yes, indeed. 4 minutes, 18 seconds, the time when the disqualification occurred, as Cornette and Barr hit the ring.
Boy, let me tell you, I've seen that whip clear a ring full of guys, just like the plague hit, man. And there was no exception right there as the Dutchman comes through with that whip to clear things out after he'd won it by disqualification. We've got more action. We're going to be looking at the fabulous ones, Brown Sugar and Eaton, before long. Stay right where you are.